Hey guys, what's going on? It's Andrew from AR Media. In tonight's video, I want to review the first Jurassic Park on 4K UHD Blu-ray. I gave this a watch last night. I want to go over the picture quality, the audio quality, if it's worth the double dip. Let's get to it. So I'm going to go over this movie very briefly, but this was a big part of my childhood. I absolutely love this movie, and I think it still holds up today. This is a timeless classic in my mind that I could watch over and over again, and really, if you haven't seen it, I don't know where you've been, go out and see it. So now let's get to the picture quality. So this is a 4K digital intermediate, and I'll be honest, I was expecting a really good transfer with this, especially considering the last couple transfers we got, but comparing this to The Matrix and Braveheart and similar films of a similar time period, this just does not come close. There is an increase in detail here in some scenes, but then in some scenes there is a decrease in detail, I would say, over the Blu-ray. I would say one of the main problems here is the use of DNR. There is a bunch of noise reduction done specifically on faces, and it gives a very soapy look, a waxy look, very similar to Terminator 2. I know a lot of the grain haters did like that transfer, but I'm not a big fan of that. You lose a lot of detail there. Now, you do get a bunch more detail in the scenes that do not use that, and in those scenes you get a nice layer of grain as well. It looks pretty good. Don't get me wrong, this is not a complete miss of a transfer. This does look better than the Blu-ray on a lot of occasions. It's just I wish there was more detail to this. I wish there was more sharpness as well. This is a very soft image. I'm sure that was inherent to the source, but it does show its softness on the 4K Blu-ray. Now, the black levels here I did find deep and inky, and that was definitely a positive transfer, as well as the wide color gamut. The wide color gamut really helped with the greens and the forest and things like that. Now let's get to the HDR of this transfer, and this is not going to be one that really pops off the screen. This is a relatively muted transfer compared to some others, but the greens definitely pop off the screens, the luscious forest, things like that. But it's not an HDR showcase or anything like that, but it does bring nicer shadow detail and those luscious greens like I mentioned. Now let's get to the audio mix, and that's definitely the star of the show here. This is a DTS:X surround audio mix, and this sounds amazing. This immersive audio mix sounds great and is definitely the reason to go and upgrade. Now, this has always been a demo disc for home theaters, and with this DTX immersive mix, it really flexes its muscles. Now, I'll say the overheads are used nicely, surrounds are used nicely, it has a nice dynamic mix, and the score is added in there with a lot of layers to it as well. Now, anyway, guys, I'm gonna rate this one, and only if you love it. And I'm sure most of you guys do love it, just like I do, clearly. I'm wearing a Jurassic Park shirt, but sadly, this is just not a major increase like The Matrix and Braveheart and Fifth Element and other catalog releases have been. Don't get me wrong, it is an increase, and the audio quality is a major increase, but the picture quality leaves a little bit to be desired. Anyway, guys, let me know down below what you thought of the transfer. Let me know if you picked it up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.